today we will deal on the Unit 4 excretory system. In this particular chapter, we are supposed to learn the physiology of kidney, urine formation, maturation, normal and abnormal constituents of the urine, elementary principles of dialysis, maintenance of homeostasis. Human excretory system. The human excretory system consists of the organs it consists a pair of kidney. So in this kidney, the urine is formed and there are two ureters connect the kidney and urinary bladder. So through this ureter, the urine will pass down and it will collect in the urinary bladder. So urinary bladder is mainly for the storage of urine. And through the urethra, the urine will expel out. So this is how the excretory system is functioning. Now we will see the functions of kidney. The first function include the regulation of inorganic ions like as sodium, potassium, calcium, chlorine, inorganic phosphates, magnesium. Regulation of water balance and osmolality. Osmolality means the dissolved particles of chemicals and minerals such as sulfates and electrolytes. The excretion of nitrogenous waste such as urea, creatinine, excretion of foreign chemicals include drugs, pollutants, etc. Then regulation of pH in blood and bicarbonates. Then synthesis of renin. Renin is another hormone produced by kidney, the interstitial cells of the kidney. So the main function of renin is to control the blood pressure of our body. Synthesis of erythropoietin. Erythropoietin is also another hormone. It helps helps to protect the RBC from the destruction. At the same time, it will stimulate the bone marrow to increase the production of erythrocytes. Then activation of vitamin D3. Then another function is gluconeogenesis. Gluconeogenesis is the formation of glucose from the non-carbohydrate source. Okay, now we will see the structure of kidney. So in this picture, you can see the detailed structure of a kidney. As we know, there is a pair of kidney, which is a bean-shaped structure that is located at the abdomen on either side of the vertebral column. Okay, so when we take the cross-section of a kidney, this looks like this. The black line shown here, it is the cortex, and inside is the medulla. So inside part is called the medulla. The dark red color appear is called cortex, and the light red color is seems as it's medulla. So here you can see these structures. This is what we call the pyramid. Pyramid, in the particular pyramid structure, the upper part of the pyramid forms a broad end that is faced towards the cortex, and the base it will form very narrowing structure that will face inside the medulla. So that is what we call the sepals of flower shape. It looks like a sepals of flower. So that is the structure is what we call the pyramid. Now the pyramid, you can see a small tubular structure. This is what we call the minor calyx, and it again extend to form the major calyx. So normally the urine filtration is taking place here. So first urine is filled here and it passes to this minor calyx, major calyx, then then it enters into the renal pelvis, the broader part. This part is what we call the renal pelvis. So in the overall kidney, there is a small depression you can see that is called the hilus. Okay, now this renal pelvis will continues to form another structure is called the ureter. Okay, so this blue structure blood cell is called the renal vein that collect the blood from oxygenated blood from heart to the kidney. Now the renal artery is taking blood from kidney to the other parts of the body. So that is the function of renal vein and the renal artery. So that's all about the overall structure of the kidney. Now we are moving to the next part called the nephron. Nephron is the functional unit of kidney. Okay. So now these nephrons are normally located at the renal cortex. So that is renal cortex is the in the last diagram you have seen the cortex structure. So the nephron is seen here. Okay. Then it will be extended down to the kidney like has a loop of Henle that is distant into the renal medulla. That part is seen in the renal medulla. So this is the magnified picture of the nephron. So this is a cup-like structure called the Bowman capsule. It's a double-walled structure, sac-like structure. So inside the Bowman capsule, there are a lot of blood vessels are divided into minute capillaries. That is what we call the glomerulus. So here, the blood vessel which enters into the cup-like structure is called the afferent arteriole. Then it will be divided to from afferent arterioles, and from the Bowman capsule, it will come out as an efferent arteriole. Okay, so this is the bunch of blood capillaries together. What we call is the glomerulus. Now the nephron has having two parts. One is renal corpuscle, another is renal tubule. Renal corpuscle consists of Bowman capsule and glomerulus. Renal tubule is proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule. So it looks like this. So this is the double-walled sac-like structure called the Bowman capsule. Inside here, the blood capillaries are seen together called glomerulus. Now this Bowman capsule is continues to form the structure called proximal convoluted tubule. It follows the loop of Henle, then distal convoluted tubule, and it connects to the collecting duct. Okay, so here the urine is passing down. So this is the vein and the artery. So that's all the overall structure of the nephron. The structure of nephron is very important. You must study. They will definitely ask in your exam also. Normally, the kidneys are made up of nephrons. So here, the nephrons are doing the filtration of the blood. Okay. During the filtration process, the impurities will be filtered out, and that is emptied into the collecting duct. And the purified blood is collected by the renal vein from the kidney. So that's all about the overall structure of the nephron and all. These are all things that we already discussed. The glomerulus is a mass of thin wall capillaries. The Bowman capsule is a double wall cup shaped structure. The proximal tubule leads from Bowman capsule to the loop of Henle. Then that will extend into the medulla. The distal tubule connect the loop of Henle to the collecting duct. The nephron, it having the blood supply from an arteriole, a venule, a network of capillary connecting them. So inside the blood capillaries, all these together form the inside the blood capillaries. All these structures will together form the inside the blood capillaries. Okay. Now, next is the formation of urine. In the formation of urine, there are three stages like filtration, reabsorption, and the secretion. Filtration means that the blood is filtering by the nephron to create a filter. The second step is reabsorption. The useful molecules from the filtrate is reabsorbed by this particular structure, and it will send back into the blood. Now, next is secretion or the tubular excretion. That is any more harmful molecules are there in the blood that is added onto this filtrate. Okay. So that is the simply we can say the three stages of the urine formation. Now we are seeing it in detail. So the first step in the urinary formation is called the glomerular filtration. So here the blood will enters into like here, the filtration is taking place here. So that will create a plasma like filtrate of the blood. Now, second step comes here, that is tubular reabsorption. Useful substances from the filtrate will be absorbed here and it returns them to the blood. Now, the third step is tubular secretion. So that is in this particular steps, here it adds waste from the blood to the filtrate again. Now, next is fourth step, that is water reabsorption. So that will remove the water from the filtrate and return to the blood for reuse. So these are all together is constitute the urine formation. Now we will see more about the ureters. Actually, we have seen the structure of kidney. Now from the kidney, the ureters has been coming out like this. So actually it's about 6 to 7 inches, and it is made up of 3 layers like smooth muscle, fibrous tissue, and mucus layer. And it having a particular movement is called the peristalsis. That is a alternate contraction and relaxation, or rhythmic contraction or relaxation, that helps the to move the urine into the bladder. So this is the bladder, and it will comes out through the urethra. Now urinary bladder. Urinary bladder, it's a hollow muscular organ which stores urine. The muscles is called as sphincter muscles. The urinary bladder has a capacity to hold 300 to 400 milliliters of urine. And the walls of the urine, it contain an epithelial tissue that helps the urinary bladder to stretch, and it is able to hold twice its capacity. Now that moves to the another area is called the triangle. That is the triangular area at the base of the bladder where the ureters enter and urethra exit. Okay, so this is that triangle area. It is what we call the triangle. Okay. Now urethra is a tube of smooth muscles with a mucus lining that carries urine from the bladder to the outside of the body. Okay, so that is the urethra. In female urethra, it is approximately 1.5 inches long. It opens through the meatus. Male urethra, it about 8 inches long. It passes through 3 different regions: prostate gland, membrane portion, and penis. Now, next is maturation. Maturation is nothing. It is a process of voiding urine from the urinary bladder, and it is a reflex process. But in small babies, it is a kind of involuntary action. But in grown-up children and adults, normally it is controlled as a voluntarily. Now, what are the normal constituents of urine? It consists of urea, creatinine, uric acid, sodium chloride, potassium chloride, ammonia, etc. The abnormal constituents of urine include blood or hematuria. The blood cells seen in the urea, that condition is what we call the hematuria. The presence of glucose in urea, that condition is called the glycosuria. Then albuminuria is there. Then presence of bile pigments, all those considered as abnormal constituents of the blood. Now, next is dialysis, where the kidney function has gone more than 90%. Then we will depends on the dialysis. Dialysis is here the dialysis unit is considered as an artificial kidney. So here, the person who is doing the artificial this dialysis process, the blood is taking from here. It enters into the dialysis machine. So inside the machine, some fluid is giving here, like fresh fluid is dialysis unit fluid is giving here. So here the purification process is happening, and the used fluid will be collected here, and after purification of the blood, it will enters into the another tube and let it into the patient's body. So that is the dialysis process. Okay. You have to write more about the dialysis principles and the types of dialysis. It is very important. You are supposed to write it in assignment. So I'm not going into more into detail. You will see after submitting your assignment here. Okay. Now, how do the kidneys maintain homeostasis? So we already seen how the blood is cleaning, how we are eliminating the how we eliminate the urine as a waste from our body and all. At the same time, it having some functions to maintain homeostasis. Okay, that is by regulating the acid-base balance, concentration of electrolytes, controlling blood pressure, and secreting hormones. So you have to write more in detail about this in your assignment. Okay. So that's all. Thank you all.